But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world. I tell you one reason they're interested. It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world for science. That's why the scientific groups all over the nation are really interested. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime.
Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. A new survey has recently revealed these massive pyramid-like formations located underneath the ice of Antarctica. The new survey, which was published on nature.com with the title, quote, "Actively evolving subglacial conduits and eskers initiate ice shelf channels at Antarctic grounding line." Now, I know that's a lot of scientific mumbo-jumbo. However, this is a very interesting finding. And so after conducting this study, scientists have announced these massive formations, some of which are as big as the Eiffel Tower, located underneath the ice. And basically what the scientific term for these things are is something called a disruption of the ice bed interface. And this is a very striking observation, and the experts surveyed 3 water outlet locations that were on the ice shelf using airborne radar data. So they flew a plane over Antarctica, sending down these radar beams that allow them to map what is underneath the ice. Otherwise, we would never know what is under there, but thank God we have radar. And the radar revealed these so-called radar reflectors underneath the ice that were very distinct. The features underneath the ice sheet in the Antarctic are 5 times the size of any others they've seen before. The features are said to be, quote, uncanny, and they have carved out gashes that are deep in the bottom of the sheet of ice, and they play a very active role in how the ice shapes many hundreds of miles away. Now, as I'm talking here, I'm showing you actual pictures and radar images from this study, which I'll put a link to down in the video description. And so, they found these sediment ridges 5 times bigger than anything else they had found, and they were surprised by how massive these things are. And as you guys are seeing in these images, these things really do look like massive pyramids, bigger than the Eiffel Tower. Think about that for a second. And all of them are virtually the same shape. They have this elongated, pointy end, and scientists don't know what to make of it. Now, one of their theories, or at least what they're telling the public, is basically that water flows from the ocean down into crevices of the ice here. And as it leaves, it releases sediment that is deposited, sediment being rocks and minerals, and so it's deposited and accumulates, in turn causing a buildup of sediment deposits that apparently, or at least again, what we're being told, that has created these huge formations bigger than the Eiffel Tower, underneath the ice, that have built up over the course of thousands of years. Now, you're also seeing some pictures here of the Eiffel Tower, just to kind of give you an idea of how massive these things are. The Eiffel Tower, of course, is located in Paris, France, and is nearly 1,000 feet tall. And so as you're looking at these radar images, you get the idea of how deep the ice shelves are in Antarctica, how far they go down, where we have these massive pyramid-like structures that are as tall as the Eiffel Tower, and then you can see what look to be miles of ice above them. And so, Antarctica has always been one of the most mysterious topics that I've ever had the pleasure of researching on this channel. I think there's a lot about this continent that we are not being told. Now, whether we're talking about the secret Nazi base angle, it's believed that after the war, many of the Nazis fled to Antarctica and set up secret bases. We have documentation showing this, that the Nazis did indeed take a very big interest in Antarctica and made visits to it. We also know that Admiral Richard E. Byrd in the 1940s and 50s took a fleet to Antarctica and was subsequently attacked by what were called flying discs that came up out of the water and attacked his fleet. Now, we also have the alien angle, where it's said that Antarctica is the entrance to an inner Earth or a secret alien base, and that there's a lot of activity down there, which kind of corroborates the fact that in December of 1959, the Antarctic Treaty was signed. And the main purpose of that treaty was, well, at least publicly, to ensure that Antarctica would continue forever to be used exclusively for peaceful purposes and shall never become the scene or object of international discord, and that it would also never be claimed by any country. So all of these major governments came together in the 1950s and basically signed this treaty in order to keep Antarctica protected. But not only that, they wanted to keep the continent from any kind of war or anything like that, as in, they didn't want anything bad happening near this continent, and that has begged the question, well, why is that? Was there some sort of threat from Antarctica, and was that the reason why all of these powers from around the world came together and made a deal that no one would ever lay claim to it, and it could never be used for any wars or conflicts, possibly fearing some sort of reaction or threat from the continent itself? You know, there's so much mystery, and over the years we have seen countless leaders and religious figures visiting this continent out of nowhere, from Vladimir Putin, President Obama, Secretary of State John Kerry, the Pope, you name it. Even Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut who walked on the moon. And, you know, we have found some very mysterious things on this continent, openings in the ice that look like secret entrances, strange formations and structures, and you know, you guys can check all that out. Just go back in my past videos and you can see what we found. And we also recently, if you guys remember, published a video regarding the gravity anomalies that were detected by a set of satellites who were flying over Antarctica and detected basically it was a massive spike in gravity at a certain area underneath the ice that indicated something very large was underneath it. So large, in fact, that the gravity of this object actually pulled down on these satellites more than it did while they were over any of the other parts of Antarctica. So we have this new study here confirming these massive pyramid-shaped objects, and, you know, the obvious question is, what are they? Are they truly natural? Or is there something more to these things? Obviously, if these things were not natural, they wouldn't tell us, and they would be instructed to give a plausible, natural explanation in a study like this. But, you know, we will hopefully learn more as we do more research, and I think we're in some very exciting times. So it's a very long study. I'll put the link to it down in the video description. You guys can check it out, and we will continue to follow this topic. All right, so thank you guys for stopping by today, and remember, our interview with Dr. Stephen Greer is just 2 days away. Well, really 1 day, but it's Friday, May 12th. We will be talking to him. I will have that video uploaded probably sometime in the afternoon or evening after we do the interview. We're going to talk to Mr. Greer about his film and try to get some answers to some of the most sought after and lingering questions that we all have about the universe, our place in it, and what we're not being told regarding the alien phenomenon. So be sure to look out for that video, and I will see you guys back here in just a bit. So enjoy your night, guys, and stay safe.